Hello, I'm Dr. Mike. The holiday season is a time of year where people decorate their homes with Christmas trees and holiday plants. Also, this is a time for cooking and baking desserts, many of which include chocolate. To learn more about their potential toxicities, we're going to meet with Dr. Tim Evans, a veterinary toxicologist at the University of Missouri.
Well, there's a lot of concerns around the holidays, particularly they're coming up in the next several months, about certain intoxications that are likely to occur. 3 common plants that we find around the holidays are poinsettias, holly, and mistletoe. None of these are particularly dangerous to the pet. However, they can cause gastrointestinal upset, which would include vomiting and diarrhea. If you see that your dog has consumed one of these plants, you should call your veterinarian right away and talk to them about it. A lot of people know that chocolate is potentially toxic to dogs, but what we need to recognize is there's different kinds of chocolate. Milk chocolate can potentially be toxic, particularly to very small dogs, but baker's chocolate actually has 10 times the amount of the toxic principle theobromine in it, so the risk of intoxication is much higher with baker's chocolate than with milk chocolate. Theobromine has a couple of different effects on the body. The main problem that's going to cause that could potentially be lethal is causing cardiac arrhythmias. It causes the heart not to beat the way that it normally should be. How much is too much? I'll get a lot of questions, people calling about a dog getting into one Hershey's Kiss, and it really depends on the size of the dog. A big dog is going to be much less likely to be intoxicated than a very small dog. If your dog gets into a chocolate product, it's really important to find out how much theobromine that product has in it. One of the things that may be helpful is to either look on the label, the wrapper of the product, or many companies, for instance the Hershey's company, has a website that you can go to that can provide useful information about how much of the theobromine is in that particular product. Another option would be calling the National Animal Poison Control Center, or if you just go to their website, there are some very useful articles on different types of products and potential hazards within the home that you might want to be aware of. One thing, you can certainly always call your regular veterinarian and get his or her advice on what to do. A lot of people aren't aware of the fact that macadamia nuts are potentially toxic. We don't know what the poison is, but animals consuming macadamia nuts can actually have depression, hallucinations, and hind limb weakness. With many potential intoxications, time is of the essence. So it's really important, if you think your dog or your cat has gotten into something that's potentially toxic, is to call your veterinarian as soon as possible, follow their directions, and get your dog or cat to them so they can evaluate and start treatment if necessary. The first things that your veterinary hospital is going to ask you if you think your dog or cat has gotten into something poisonous is, what is the particular compound, product, or food that your dog or cat got into? Second, they're going to ask, how much do you think your pet consumed? And third, they're going to ask when your dog or cat consumed that particular product, substance, or food. What are some of the potential recommendations that your local veterinarian is likely to make if your pet has gotten into something that's poisonous? First, they may recommend that you induce emesis or vomiting in your pet. But please never do this unless you've consulted with your veterinary hospital first. They may ask that you bring your pet immediately into the veterinary hospital for examination, laboratory tests, and supportive care, such as fluids or products to go ahead and hasten the absorption of the product or elimination of the toxicant from the body.
Many plants, from Christmas trees and poinsettias to hollyberry, lilies, and mistletoe, can potentially be toxic. However, the most common problem I see during the holidays is ingestion of chocolate. If you think that your pet may have ingested a toxic plant or food, you should call your veterinarian immediately and follow their advice. Time is of the essence. The earlier your pet is treated, the better the prognosis. I hope this information is helpful, and thanks for watching.